Welcome to this week's Foundation Friday. I am joined today by Eric Gross, COO at Dext Capital, to discuss Candlelighters. Thanks for joining me, Eric.
Jesse, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on here. I guess if you just got done with this ride, I should have requested that you do this interview in your riding outfit that Dex just posted today. But,
I don't know. I don't want to scare too many viewers. The folks here at work that see me gallivanting around in the morning in my biking spandex, I think they've had enough of it, quite honestly.
Anyhow, this is a PG show, so we'll keep
Probably
it that
best.
way.
Probably best.
But, Eric, do you mind just kind of introducing Candlelighters to our audience?
Yeah, Candlelighters is it's an organization that provides support to children with cancer and their families. So the basic premise is that, obviously, a child that has cancer, it's a difficult situation, and there are organizations that support that. What Candlelighters does is a little bit different. They take the approach that, if you have a child that has cancer, the whole family is engaged, right? So if there's siblings, the parents, cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody is going through this. And so Candlelighters provides support for the entire family. And that's something that, obviously resonated with me some years ago. And I've been active with this organization and for a number of years.
Perfect. Thank you. And then what are some of those areas of support? I know in the past, I think you mentioned like gas cards, different hotel accommodations for the travel.
Yeah, so the chapter that I'm involved with supports all of Oregon and Southwest Washington, and cancer just doesn't occur next to a children's hospital, right? A lot of Oregon and Southwest Washington is rural, and so we have kids and families that are traveling from all over the state, and that means that they have travel expenses. When kids come in for treatment. There may be a stuffed animal on their bed, something simple like that. The organization provides meals while the families are in the hospital. So they're in there, the kids are getting treatment. They don't want to run out. They certainly don't have a place necessarily to go cook a meal. And so, we'll bring food into them so that they can stay and stay with their family and their child while the treatment's being made. Something as simple as you mentioned, just a gas card, right? Can be, unfortunately, the difference between a family being able to actually get to the hospital to give treatment rather than not. So, not to it's obvious, but cancer doesn't care if you're wealthy, if you're poor. I can tell you from personal experience that when my kids were young. My wife and I may not have, we certainly weren't wealthy. So, raising a young family, budgets are usually pretty tight. So it tends to hit families at a time when families sometimes need the help the most.
Sure. And I can't imagine, and hopefully I'm never in that situation, but I can't imagine being in there, let alone all of those costs, and just to have just a little something from an organization that shows that you're not alone and they care. I'm sure it definitely goes a long way.
Yeah, well, I think that's where the organization really was founded was these families just said, hey, I've never gone through this before. What do I do? And they created this network of families that then kind of morphed into the organization as to what it is today. So it's really a great story.
So is there support outside of just what we discussed with the organization?
There's counseling.
Okay.
It runs the whole bandwidth, and what's really cool is that this organization has been there long enough now where you actually have families, parents who were at one point Candlelighter children, and maybe one of the most gratifying things is I might be wearing a Candlelighter shirt or something, and families will come up to me and will be just overjoyed and thankful and appreciative for everything that Candlelighters had given to them when they were in need. And it's that kind of reinforcement, I guess, lack of a better term, that kind of says, yeah, I guess what I'm doing, for me, I'm going on a really cool bicycle ride and I'm raising funds, right? So for me, it's pretty fun, but it also strikes home that, yeah, I'm actually doing some good, and that makes all the difference in the world.
And why you mentioned bicycle ride, do you mind just kind of explaining that process
Yeah.
to the
So
audience here?
the our chapter's largest fundraiser every year is an event called Ride for a Child, and it's always been associated with a group ride here in Oregon called Cycle Oregon, and Cycle Oregon has a week long 400 or 500 mile ride somewhere in rural Oregon. And some years ago, a fellow, Dick Hartung, started this whole fundraiser, and he did the ride. He raised funds. It's now morphed into maybe 20 or 30 people doing the ride, raising a couple $100,000 a year. It's the largest fundraiser for our chapter, and we're not too proud to get down and to go to any length to scrape a nickel out of somebody's pocket, and we also get the benefit of the camaraderie of riding with friends
Sure.
and doing something good.
Sure. So, is there a local, like I live in Phoenix, is there a Candlelighters down here as well? Just go to the main Candlelighters website. I'm sure.
There are chapters all over the country, all shapes and sizes. To a certain extent, they kind of run independently, but they all focus on the same cause. I have a fellow that works with me down in Dallas, and his family, especially his dad, was heavily involved with the Candlelighters down in Dallas, and so that was kind of a surprise, but also great to hear. And it's just kind of an indication that it's a good organization that a lot of people, it touches a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And I guess my final question I have for you, Eric, is people watching this are friends, counterparts in equipment finance. What can our industry do to help make a difference?
You know, um, we do. I think Equipment Finance Cares is an outreach of just that. Um, you know, I guess not to get on my soapbox, but here I go.
Hey, it's your platform, man. Let's go.
So, there are a million great causes out there, right? And I just happen to choose to get involved with Candlelighters, but there's a million causes out there, and I think that we are all blessed that we have gotten into an industry that's provided a good living for us. It allows us the opportunity for professional and personal growth. It really is. It creates a really good lifestyle for us, and um, whatever you choose to get engaged with, I think we all know that we get way more out of it than we put in, and and I think that is the best lesson to learn. And there's no time like the present to get engaged with something that kind of touches your heart, and you'll be the beneficiary.
Well spoke. And yeah, same page. The gratification that you get out of helping others, it's hard to explain.
It
So
is. It is. So,
awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today, Eric. Thank you for talking about Candlelighters, and keep up the great work, man. Thank you.
Jesse, you do the same. Thank you.